Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and welcome to Command Power, the show in which we discuss all things Magic the Gathering with a focus on Commander.
And welcome to another episode of our Card Spotlight series in which I highlight a card that I think should see more play in Commander.
But before that, just a quick reminder to click subscribe if you enjoy my videos. We're well on our way to 1 million subscribers and your support means everything to me.
And today we're going to be talking about Nasty End. For 1 colorless and 1 black, it's an instant that says, as an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature. Draw 2 cards. If the sacrificed creature was legendary, draw 3 cards instead. So I already included this in one of my shorts talking about the top 5 budget cards to pick up from Lord of the Rings, and this is just fantastic, honestly. It's a much better card than it might initially look, simply because of that legendary clause. So we already have things like Village Rites and Deadly Dispute. They both have other stuff going for them, so Village Rites costs only 1 mana, which is obviously great, and Deadly Dispute is going to give you a treasure and also allows you to sacrifice an artifact, so that makes it better a lot of the time as well. But Nasty End drawing a whole extra card if you sacrifice a legendary is huge. But I think when people first see this card, they just think, well, I'm gonna have to be running it in a deck with a bunch of legendaries for it to be good. But you don't really. You just need to run it in a deck where you're playing your commander, which is every deck. And as long as your commander is something that your opponents are going to want to try to target or going to try to board wipe away, which is basically going to happen every game, then Nasty End is just going to be a draw 3 for 2 mana at instant speed. That is an incredible rate. I've been playing it since it came out, and I've already drawn so many cards off of this by sacrificing my commander when somebody tries to remove it. Obviously, if you have ways to protect your commander, that's going to be better most of the time, but this is the second best thing to that. Drawing 3 cards is really good. Ancestral Recall for 1 extra mana? Yes, please. But actually what makes the card good is the draw 2 cards clause. This means that there's actually a failsafe if you don't have a legendary in play for whatever reason, or if you don't want to sacrifice a legendary in a certain situation, which has come up for me as well, then you can just sacrifice 1 of your regular creatures and still draw 2, which is a fine rate. There's nothing wrong with that. Drawing 3 is obviously amazing. Drawing 2 is still okay, which means that there's not really much room for this card to actually be bad, which is definitely a great place to be. Obviously, it gets better in decks with a ton of legendaries, so again, it's really good in Shanid or Ratadrabik, because those decks are super interested in having a ton of legendaries on the board, at which point the value of this goes up exponentially because you're going to have many more targets and many more times to sacrifice 1 of your creatures in response to removal, since basically every removal is going to be targeted at a legendary creature. I really like this card, and I think it is very underrated. Obviously, it's never going to cost very much because of how much this set has been opened and the fact that it's a common, but it's an incredibly powerful effect. So there you have it. Those have been my thoughts on this new spoiler. What do you think about this card? Please let me know in the comment section below. I read all comments and respond to all of them too. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like or subscribe. It really helps the channel. And until next time, take care. Woo!